สวัสดีครับ Good morning, everyone. So actually, to me, I think I'm kind of the one who know the least in kind of transportation, in rail transportation, but I have some sort of background, not the rail persons, but I think I can share some viewpoint addressing the rail transportation in terms of the context. So it's addressing both policy-wise and technology-wise. The talk today, I'm going to share with you just some question, and it's not the first time that we ask this question. We have been talking about this for on and on for quite a few years. And again, recently, some of us may have learned from the news, from the media. This sort of question is coming up again. And it's just another time that we can readdress this with the current context. How about if our country, Thailand, have an opportunity to really have the rail industry? What would be like? And for researchers, scientists, engineers, or academia, or industry people, what would be up to for us? Talking about the Thailand context in terms of the policies is quite important. It's only the technology itself. So I'm just going to spend a few minutes, 10, 20 minutes, share some things addressing this cover topics. When we talk about the rail system technologies, it's really broad. It's just a matter of what background of us. Some may be from civil engineering, focusing on track work, infrastructure. Some may be mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, or manufacturing, and so on. For this morning, we will focus on the and I will share a little bit about infrastructure. We have experts from Bentley and from some other people that can share some technology advancements addressing the applications of digitalization in rail infrastructure. And of course, some other thing, rail signaling system and telecommunications. Mainly, broadly, if we divide what are under the rail system industry, we may more or less talk in terms of three components. When we focus more on rolling stocks, of course, experts can have many technical terms that some of layman people may not really understand. So when we talk about rolling stock, we can have a passenger car, and we can have a variety of passenger cars. We can have a locomotive. We can have a conventional diesel locomotive. We can have a little bit more advanced electric locomotive. We can have a hybrid, or we can even have about hydrogen in the futures to come. Who knows, right? And we can have some goods delivering freight wagons in many kind of variations. We can have special vehicles, whatever that do the maintenance of the tracks works. So all this sort of thing, if we can really build, develop, or design, or manufacture, or produce rolling stock, we can see that it's a wide range of opportunity for us. But of course, in order to be able to do this, we need technologies. And for Thailand, if we focusing a little bit more on rolling stock, actually, I don't know if we have people coming from the SRT or from the MRT like that. So far, for our countries, we have the reasons, the conditions that, we need to deliver good service for people, for publics, for business people to deliver goods and so on. And with the limitations and with the conditions, we basically end up with purchasing abroad. And that's not anything wrong. At that time, It happened to be like that. We don't have capability, we don't have scale, we don't have demand enough. But up until now, I will show you in the next few slides that we have some significant demands. This is could be some opportunity for us. Talking about the rolling stock, we would very soon. Actually, it's already backlog order already. We really need DMU. We really need electric locomotive. We need more passenger coach. The SRT people can give you more idea that at the moment, what they really need to provide good service for people and also freight wagons or even though tram and things like this. And talking about the opportunities, the travel, the commute between cities, we are not talking about the urban city system. We have a whole bunch of opportunities. At the moment, the replacements that is pending is just a matter of eventually how we will procure them. For example, this is may not be open public wide, but it's not confidential. It's open to a certain extent. For example, the number of the diesel multiple unit that we really need at the moment, that SRT really needs to be able to provide good service for people, about 900. We're talking about the locomotive, just only the conventional, or it could be electric EDMU, about nearly 200. Among that, is special ones, shunting for about 20. We are talking about 4,000 freight wagons. We are talking about 700 passenger coach. So this sort of number can give us a little bit more feeling that, for this sort of number, if we have chance to develop ourselves, that would be a seed, a nucleation to really make the rail industry happen in Thailand. And in addition, not just only the existing necessary replacements, we know that, the country have invested quite a lot for the track, for the railways. Is becoming double track railways countrywide. And for that, from the existing about 4,000 kilometer distance of the railways in Thailand, we are talking about the university, it will end up with about 7,000. So for these kind of fundamental figures, we would be able to develop some reasonable scale to become a rail industry in Thailand. But what would be the key factor? This is the thing that we have been talking about over years, 10 years, 20 years, that we are about to design and develop the train ourselves, but without a strong policy and stating that we really have the policies to procure domestically, it wouldn't be possible at all. So policy-wise, this is going to be the key point to really get started for Thailand to have a real opportunity to develop rail industry. And recently, some of us may have learned from the news over the past couple of weeks. On November 14th, the Deputy Prime Minister or the Minister of Transport and the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Transport and also the Ministry of Industry and some Thai delegates have a chance to visit Turkey. Why Turkey? It is one of the recent countries that successfully developed the rail industry in that country. From the visit, they have exchanged a lot of useful information and the way that Turkey in about back 10 years, they all import like us, and they first deliver their own train make with about some few percent local contents, and at the moment, over 60% by values, over 80% by amount of part and component, and they also have export trains to EU. So they have been successfully developed the train themselves with global international standard. And recently they have designed a high-speed trains. They are about to launch 160 km/h train at the medium speed and 240 in the next few years. They come with advanced technologies, all aluminum bodies, the bogie without welding structure, and so on. So we have learned the case from them, and the minister, the deputy prime minister, he's very keen. And then you can see from the news recently, he said that, Thailand, like the news just show here. So you can go back and then go to the internet and then search the news and can find this development like this. This is the quote in Thailand. So if Thailand really be able to develop the rail industry, this would be another opportunity. And of course, it's not just technology itself. It had to start with the policy first, the firm policies, the continuity, the strong commitment, and every stakeholders are up to the same things. I have a quick about 50 seconds. Please show up the video in Thai.
ไทยเราพยายามพัฒนาระบบรางเป็นเวลาต่อเนื่องมาแล้วหลายปีนะครับไม่ว่าจะเป็นไทยเราพยายามพัฒนาระบบรางเป็นเวลาต่อเนื่องมาแล้วหลายปีนะครับไม่ว่าจะเป็นรถไฟความเร็วสูงรถไฟฟ้าหน่วยงานที่มีหน้าที่รับผิดชอบโดยตรงอย่างสถาบันวิจัยและพัฒนาเทคโนโลยีระบบรางองค์การมหาชนใช้ชื่อย่อว่าสทร.เป็นหน่วยงานที่อยู่ภายใต้สังกัดกระทรวงคมนาคมครับจัดทำแผนยุทธศาสตร์ที่ทำด้านเทคโนโลยีระบบรางของประเทศไทยในแผนนี้จะมีการกำหนดเป้าหมายเอาไว้ว่าเราจะผลิตรถไฟผ่านกระบวนการผลิตในประเทศให้ได้50คันภายใน3ปีต่อจากนี้หรือเกิดขึ้นภายในปี2570โดยจะเป็นเครื่องยนต์ดีเซล DMU แล้วก็เพิ่มเทคโนโลยีระบบไฮบริดเข้าไปด้วยและก็คาดการณ์ว่าภายในปี2569เราจะสามารถผลิตรถต้นแบบออกมาเป็นคันแรกหมายถึงรถไฟต้นแบบนะครับอันนี้จะช่วยลดต้นทุนการนำเข้าจากต่างประเทศได้ประมาณ20%ก็เท่ากับว่าจะเหลือต้นทุนคงที่อยู่ที่ประมาณ80%
Just a quick communication with the public. So we have said, for example, if we really be able to start with the 50 of the MU a year, this amount would be able to be a starting scale to really develop the rail industry in Thailand. And when we talk about the rail system industry and focusing on rolling stock, of course, the design manufacturing is very important. So let's hope that, if Thailand really have this opportunity, the policy is on, and the stakeholder is eventually up to altogether. Now, it's a part of technology. The design manufacturing is very important. If we can change from being a buyer to be a developer, this multiplication effect in terms of economies will be emerged. For example, let's say if we talk about over the next 5 years, we have the productions coming up to about 400 units of DMU or hybrid EDMU. It could be economy value about 40 thousands million baht. The reduction can start from as low as 20 and can be more and more. This opportunity can lead us to the export. Of course, we need to meet global standard, global requirement, international standard. It could be EU or anything. And it's going to be a domestic multiplier effect. Like I said, the employment, the investment, and the downstream industry and business and service and so on. The industrial transformations. And this is the key that, the collaborations from several parties, especially stakeholders that used to be in the past or game of purchasing overseas procurement has to be changed. And technology-wise, we are addressing, and policy-wise, firm, continual, and clear policies. A quick table showing not just past in detail, just a key main components for rolling stock in generic view. We can see the sharings in terms of the money for the whole 100%. We can have sharings from different main components. Bearing and keep this in mind, we do a quick, it's not quite engineering or scientific, but just a quick feeling assessment. If we follow the table and with these main components and with the capability scoring, one that we are able to really do that, and 0.75, 0.5 or 0 that we wouldn't be able to do anything. Multiply with the value challenge from that previous table. This is going to be the opportunity for us that at the moment for quick calculations, what sort of components that Thailand can do if we provide opportunities to be a supplier for the train developments. And the strategic thinking that for us, for engineers, for researchers, for scientists, for people who work in a research institute or in university, we think about the driving factor is that we need to be able to design. When we design, not just only styling, styling is important. This is going to be our unique presentation that why Thai train or Siam train is not just only import from the global, and also engineering designs, production, manufacturing, and of course, quality infrastructure and standardization system. Many of us working on standard of rail component, of track work, of signal and telecommunication. These all the technologies components. The question is that, are we really ready in terms of technology capability? We may be able to have some experience to do some projects, to come up with some part, some component, and those parts meet standards? Are those parts accepted? So quite a few steps to go on. We may involve in some sort of a practice, welding, inspecting, or so on. What sort of code and standard that we follow? This is going to be another thing that we have to revisit and really make sure that we are up to that point. Another thing, not just only the research on development of any engineering part, component, or assembly itself. The quality infrastructure system to support industry development is quite important. At the moment, we have piecemeal cover some piece of standard that we may refer to, but a whole picture, who is going to be the accredited body without this one, it wouldn't be possible to have the system who's going to be the certified body, who's going to be these two parties that people in business can go to. And details like this, even though we are able to set the factories, do the part component without thinking about this thing systematically, we would still have to use the service overseas. And this sort of thing is a big money business, costs a lot. People who work for industry know that this is quite expensive cost and time consuming. We have to think about, for Thailand, if we ever have to have a chance to develop railway system industry, who's going to be in charge? One particular person, one particular agencies or parties wouldn't be able to do that. It's getting back to the question that every stakeholder must be really up to altogether. We have to come up with the national body to oversee things like this. The SOMO TIS itself, they, of course, could be part of this big picture. And of course, many research labs in university, in research institute, if they have a clear determination and strong will, they could be part of facilities, because it's not just only the equipment itself. We need people with brain, with expertise, with skill set of technical engineering knowledge. And of course, we need the database to know who's going to supply what, who's going to test what, in what condition. This is another big matter. Technology-wise, the NKO itself is very important thing. For example, equipment like this, maybe we can team up together and discuss with the PMUCs. PMUC has a NQI programs. If Thailand are to go for rail industry development, NQI for rail system, it's a big issue that we have to think together. It's not just only a few but equipment, and the maintenance people that who are able to use to fully utilize is quite important. So, and for RTRDA, will be a key persons and working with our partners in Thailand and overseas, that we have to develop the strategy to be able to acquire necessary technologies. Acquiring means it could be, I'll explore in the next few slides, and we need of course, the global, the world-class technologies to be able to go with the world competitive business, but we have to be able to localize them to practical implementations, and we need a competitive infrastructure to support, and we need the technology foresight. For example, in the future, when they talk about the decarbonization, the sustainability, this thing like this. And now we are about to launch this strategy, this Yulathep in the next few months. And of course, we will invite of us to give comment in this thing. I'm not going to go to the detail very soon. We are going to organize the public hearings and focusing group on addressing this kind of strategy for rail industry system. I'm going to jump into these kind of things. When we talk about the technology ecosystem, it's not just only do the research and development. Basically, it starts with the D&E, design engineering. And when we really know that what sort of deep solutions to go further, we will step deeper into the research and development. And of course, we talk about the technology transfer and the people, human resource development also. So we can see that we can work together with university and research institute, PMUC, PMUB, and NRCT, and things like that. The important is that, to really be able to competitively acquire necessary technologies. And the research areas, the technology point must be relevant and coherent to address the development of rail system, not just only any building knowledge body. So this is the picture that RTRDA is focusing on. And of course, we have to be able to design both styling and engineering, and we need to develop supply chains. We are about to start the series of projects to do the supply chain evaluation in Thailand. Let's say if we want to be able to produce train for 50, for 70 car years, the current supply in Thailand, shifting from automotive part and component to this, what could we do? And getting back to the table of value sharing, what should be the starting part and component business-wise to go for? And of course, we need to be able to smartly sourcing globally. We are not going to do every piece of part at the beginning, but we need to know the strategy, what particular parts we need to import from what sort of technologies leader, and what particular parts or component that we need to be able to do ourselves. And also, not just only the technology-oriented, we need to be able to do the standardization system, the quality infrastructure, and the measures for the investments for whatsoever. So this is the whole picture that if we really have a chance to have a rail industry in Thailand. And we talk so far focusing more on the rolling stock, but actually when we talk about the rail technology system, it's very broad. It could be from civil, from mechanical, from manufacturing, from materials, from electricals, computer. I'm just going to go quickly, and some of our colleagues is going to address some digitalizations later on. On this side, on that side, what I'm going to say that, we have quite an exciting opportunities when we talk about technology convergence. So far, we may focus mainly on the hard side, the correlated on rail. But the emerging side of digitalization, AI, IoT, VR, whatsoever, and you can come up with quite interesting innovations. We may see some example later on. And this is the whole picture. So I would be happy to have a chance to discuss with people interested in working on research and development and design engineering in this rail system to all together to come up with some innovation supporting the rail business, the rail industry. And this is some example of developing work on the infra track work size. What about high-speed rail standards? We need to be able to do that. What about the maintenance with the advancement of technologies? What about the disaster management, floods, or whatsoever? What about the analytics of rail incidents? What about the structural health monitoring system with those advanced things, and so on? And this is some quick example of the application of AI in rail business. And the decarbonization of rail transportation, what would be up to, for example. So in short, if we have a strong, firm continuity policies and every stakeholder is up to all together, we are creating Thailand opportunity. And this is leading to developing industry. That means it's driving economy. We talk quite a lot about what would be the next economy engine for Thailand. We haven't seen anything. The scale of this thing could lead to more employment, more investment, more quality of living, and so on. And this is, we can lead the nation. All of us in this room can lead the nation and connecting the world. Okay, thank you very much for this talk. ขอบคุณครับ